This is Tyler. I'm back with another BS theory. This one is on what the One Piece really is. One of the biggest things that people have been speculating, no, the biggest thing that people have been speculating since the beginning of One Piece is what exactly the One Piece is. And I think I have found the absolute definitive answer. There is literally nothing you can say to disprove my theory. So we're going to start out with the words, One Piece. So you have one, like the number, and piece. How many letters does piece have? Piece. 5 letters. So that's 1 plus 5. 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. 6. The sixth arc in One Piece is the Thriller Bark arc, which is all about mystery and an island that moves around. Thriller Bark is a moving island, which we can use later. So there's an island that moves around, and there's things from the past on that island as well. We have Oars' body, which Oars was said to be able to move islands. So we got 2 hints at some kind of moving island, which relates right back to the One Piece because of 6. Clearly, the Laugh Tale, where the One Piece is on, it's got to be some kind of moving island, which would explain why the world government hasn't been able to find it. But that is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this theory. So we've got a moving island, but still, if the island was moving, how did the world government not find it yet? With their massive amount of resources. That's where the next point comes in. At the end of Thriller Bark, we see massive spires with glowing red eyes. And I believe that those massive spires are actually one single living creature, which is Cthulhu. Because we already have hints that gods exist with Nika, the sun god. So it's not much of a stretch to say that the eldritch god Cthulhu exists in One Piece. So those big spires with the red eyes is just a manifestation of Cthulhu. So now that we know that Cthulhu is definitely in One Piece and has some kind of tie to Laugh Tale and the One Piece, we can look further into the lore of Cthulhu and see exactly what he does and how it would correlate. So we all know that Cthulhu was a cosmic entity that was made by H.P. Lovecraft, and he's considered a great old one, and there was a real-world event that happened in 2012 and 2016 in the United States where Cthulhu actually ran for president. Now, hear me out. Oda, when he was writing One Piece, probably didn't actually make what the One Piece was, because if anyone were to find the notes, that would spoil the entire frickin' thing. So obviously he was gonna wait a bit later, and he already knew that he was gonna do this thing with Cthulhu and Thriller Bark. So then he was thinking, I'm just gonna play it out, see what happens, kind of mold my theory or mold my series over through time, right? And then in 2012, he saw that Cthulhu ran for president in the United States, and he thought, boom, this is it. This is what I need. And that was when he definitively made the One Piece, or at least the way of getting to the One Piece. So Cthulhu ran for president. A president is someone who is the head, or the person who is running the country. You want to know who else is running? Eam. And we know that Eam is in Marijwa, and almost no one knows he exists. Just like Cthulhu, no one really knows that Cthulhu exists. Because we would have seen people talk about him, but no one has. And the only glimpse that we've gotten was in the back of Thriller Bark, when no one even noticed him. And just to clear up your suspicion, so that you can tie in Cthulhu and Eam a bit more, is Cthulhu was said to be the source of all anxiety for mankind. which sounds a lot like the world government, if I were to say so myself, which of course I do. So now that we know Cthulhu and Eem are somehow connected, we can make Eem, we can assume that Eem has something to do with Laugh-Tale and the One Piece. So what if Eem was actually the first person to see Cthulhu, and he's the only one to know that actually Cthulhu exists besides the people who found the Laugh-Tale. Eem saw Cthulhu, but Cthulhu, thinking that he was some kind of threat, because Eem is obviously some kind of higher power as he's able to control the entire world. Cthulhu saw him as a threat, and therefore not allowing him to get to the One Piece, because the One Piece is actually something that would, if given to Eem, destroy the entire world. Which is where we get into the next part. Cthulhu is known for being scary and causing massive amounts of anxiety and fear in every person who lays eyes on him. So, it only makes sense that the One Piece would be something like that. Because if Cthulhu was hiding the One Piece, that might actually be the source of his power. And because Eem is already such a notorious person, if he were to get access to Cthulhu's power of fear and anxiety, then Eem would basically become unstoppable. No one would be able to take him over. So Cthulhu stopped Eem from going to the One Piece because he understood the threat that Eem could cause onto the world. Which also goes to show that Cthulhu is not a bad guy. Which would explain why when Roger showed up, found the poneglyphs, and saw Cthulhu, Cthulhu was basically like, yeah, this dude, he's gonna take some of my power. Which of course didn't actually work the way that Cthulhu thought it would. As when Roger got it, he gained fame and infamy. He was not necessarily feared, but more as just known, which was kind of confusing. So, Cthulhu reasoned that there would be some other ways that his power could be interpreted, which goes back to the poneglyphs. The poneglyphs were written by the Kozuki clan of Wano. We know that, we've been told that. But what if Cthulhu told them to write them in the future, and they time traveled back? So the poneglyphs actually came from the future. And we've seen time travel in One Piece, as like Toki has a time traveling fruit. So it's not much of a stretch to say the poneglyphs came from the future, were written in the future after everyone was done, to warn the previous people about the powers of the One Piece. Alright, so just to recap, the One Piece is the essence of Cthulhu. Cthulhu is the guardian of the One Piece, who can move the island around, and when not doing so, stays in the Florian Triangle around Thriller Bark. Now that we know what the One Piece is, and how to get to it, this theory is basically open and closed. Like, you can kind of spot a few holes, maybe, like how exactly Cthulhu got there, and all that stuff, but really, at the end of the day, there really is undisputable proof that this is exactly what the One Piece is. So, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Hey, is that a dog?